Okay, so my name's Owen Cowley and I researched the Bosnian genocide. So basically, what it was a major mass killing from the Yugoslav Republic of Bosnia, and the government decided to declare independence. So, what that meant, they wanted to be like their own people, they wanted to be on their own side, which was kind of like relating back to the Holocaust. They wanted Germany wanted to be like their own thing, so this is kind of like this. And over the next few years, they actually made their own army to have crimes committed against Bosniak and Croatian civilians. They mainly didn't like the Muslims. Um, they didn't want really anyone but the Serbians around. And with this, 100,000 people died. So I read also that after the Holocaust, this was the biggest genocide following the Holocaust. So that's kind of sad how many people died because of this. So, talking about social implications, they wanted ethnic cleansing. So that kind of meant um, the Serbians just wanted to remove all Muslims, like clean them out. Um, so they sent them to concentration camps, just how the Holocaust was. They were starved and murdered. Women were raped and tortured. And with that, they wanted the women to have Serbian kids, not Muslim kids, so that's why they were raped. So it's kind of really sad to think about. Yeah, so and also many were left and hurt and dead. And for political implications, the Serbs obviously were racist, and there could have been a war that broken out. Um, I read many different areas where it was, I guess, anytime a war could have broken out. And the United Nations did get involved, but that wasn't until later. And dealing with ultranationalism, so that's basically the definition where the Serbians felt more superior. Um, that's a prime example of what it is. And there was no peace whatsoever throughout this nation. So that kind of just shows how they felt more superior. They wanted them gone, the Muslims gone. They wanted any Croatian people gone. So yeah, that's basically about the ultranationalism, and I thought that was important to put in. So some effects on this genocide. Obviously, we talked about this previously. There could have been a war that broke loose, and also there were so many deaths that could have been prevented or shouldn't have even happened. And there was racism throughout, and I think kind of like the Holocaust, it was just because one person had that view, other people believed in it as well, and it was just a troubled country. Um, Before, during, and after. I don't know why there was so much problems, and it still is a problem. So it's kind of sad to think, even that it went through so much through this Bosnian genocide, it's still a troubled country. So that's kind of like a long term effect. An international response, I thought this was also interesting to put in because a lot of the time, like for the Holocaust, people got, like, other countries got involved. So we did try to seek, there was justice trying to be sought, but it wasn't until a lot later after. And there was a council created that prosecuted the genocide. And there was actually 161 individuals indicted for the crimes that were committed during this time. And lastly, the butcher of Bosnia. It was a long trial, and I believe it was 4 years. And there were so many people during this, like trying to figure out what was going on. His name was Mladic, I guess, and he was considered the butcher of Bosnia. And finally, after 4 years, he was sentenced life in prison. So, after the genocide, this did happen. So, I guess that was kind of like a good thing that happened after. And that's basically it. And I do have a works cited page after. And yeah, that's the Bosnian genocide.